Okay, so The White Tiger, which is new to Netflix again, there was going to be theatrical, but obviously, what with one thing and another, it's on Netflix now. So this is the new film from Ramin Barani, who made 99 Homes, which you remember I reviewed that a few years ago, which I really, really liked. It's adapted from the Man Booker Prize winning novel from 2008 by Aravind Adiga. And basically, it is a film about the kind of culture of servitude and inequality in modern India, as seen through the eyes of a villager who comes from a low caste, who dreams of being a successful entrepreneur and dreams of doing this by making himself indispensable to the rich masters for whom he works. And he also narrates the story. And the lead role is Adash Gurav, who is an actor and a musician, and he's terrific as Balram, who is the central character who we meet him at the beginning, and he's narrating the story. And essentially, what happens is he hitches his wagon to Ashok, played by Rajkumar Rao, who is this kind of young gun who's recently returned from America with his bride, played by Priyanka Chopra. And having been raised to serve, Balram basically does everything he can for his master. He thinks that that's well, he has this smile on his face, to what he really wants to serve. And then what happens is a terrible event happens that we see sort of very early on, which he is then asked essentially to take the blame for, even though he had nothing to do with it. And being in the position that he's in, he kind of finds that he has no choice but to agree, and then finds that thrown back in his face. And that's the point at which he kind of resolves to become the White Tiger. And the White Tiger we hear is an almost mythical creature, a creature born only once every generation, of kind of extreme, strength and fortitude. And so it's something genuinely unique. So the thing that's really interesting about the film is, firstly, I mean, the director, who right back to his debut feature, Man Push Cars, has been very interested in the subject of inequality and the way in which social systems work and the way in which inequality is kind of fostered. And what you get here, I think this is, him at the top of his game. It is a very sort of darkly satirical, very stylistically stylish kind of modern fable. It has some of the there's a strange comparison. I mean, I think it's accidental. There's a strange comparison with Parasite in the idea that because he becomes a driver, he's a chauffeur, and he's working for these people who are, that's where the sort of the parasitical part of the drama is. It also takes, cheeky swipes at other movies, but right at the heart of it is this central character who we see going through all these different, changes, and he's the person who leads us through this story. And the way in which the film works is it's got a kind of slightly hyper cranked up style to it. It's almost like there's kind of an echo of Train Spotting there in the background of it, but it works really well because, firstly, it's a brilliant central performance. Secondly, the story actually is kind of sinewy in all the ways that you want it to be. It's very entertaining. It's very dark when it needs to be dark. I mean, there is one particular scene in which the smile on the lead actor's face tells us so much. It is a scene in which something's happening and all he can do is smile. And he does this absolutely brilliant job of, just in this fixed smile, of telling us so much about what's going on behind the smile and behind the eyes. And this is Adarsh Gaurav has said, what he does that thing which I love, which is the less he does, the more you see. And I thought it worked really well. I went in knowing nothing about it. I haven't read the book. I'd heard good things about the film, but I didn't even know what genre it was in. And terrifically, the film itself is it sort of flip flops around in the way in which it uses genre. It's very genre literate. I mean, Ramin Barani knows how to work with film genres and to use them to his advantage, sometimes wrong footing the audience. At times it's very funny and very darkly funny and very satirical and very sardonic, and other times it's got real kind of sense of tragedy to it. And it's all absolutely captured in the smile on the lead character's face, which tells us so much. Anyway, it's called The White Tiger. I think it's really remarkable, very, very worth watching, and very entertaining, and I'd be very interested to know what other people think of it.